Hello students, welcome to this wonderful session for NEET examination, 11th Biology, Unit 1, Diversity in the Living World, Chapter 1, Part 2. In this part, we will discuss this binomial nomenclature. Then we have to say that is definitions of different categories. Then we have to see taxonomical aids, and then the NCERT exemplar, some of the important questions, and then the questions which had appeared in NEET examination, previous year examinations. In this chapter, we have to deal taxonomic hierarchy. Classification is not single step process. If you have plenty of books in library you have purchased for library, you cannot arrange these books in one step. Similarly, the group of organism, different type of organism, we cannot classify them in one step. This is a multi-step process. Each step represents a rank or category, and all categories together they make taxonomic hierarchy. In the beginning, Linnaeus gave only 5 ranks, and these were, that is variety. If you go in ascending order, species, genus, order, and class. After that, it was felt that these are not satisfactory and sufficient. Therefore, that is, new categories have been added and the variety has been removed. All these we have in 7 total, and these 7 obligate categories are, starting from the, that is, lowest one. This is the species, then this is genus, then this is family, then this is order, then this is class, then this is phylum, then this is kingdom, then this is, that is the domain. Domain we do not include here. The 7 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. In case of animal, this category is known as phylum, while in case of plant, we used to call it as, that is, division. Right? So it means the Linnaeus that it did not included this family and this phylum and then the kingdom. The 3 new categories have been added. See here, that is, this is the lowest category. The number of the organism in the lowest category with similar characters are there. When one will go from, that is, lower category to the higher categories, number of the organism will increase, but the similar characters, common characters, will decrease. When one will go from, that is, lower category to upper category, higher category, that is, number of the general characters will increase. You see, higher the category, higher is the number of organism. The class will have more number of organism as compared to order. The order will have more number of organism as compared to family or genus. In the same way, the common characters will be more in species as compared to genus. When one go ascending order, the number of the common characters will decrease. When one will go from lower to higher category, the problem of classification becomes more complex. It becomes rather difficult to establish relationship. For example, if I say here, let this is class. In case of animal, one class is, that is, Mammalia. And if I say that the human and the bat, both they belong to this class, it will be rather difficult. One will be surprised, a layman will be surprised how both of these can be put together. You see now. Next is, that is, with certain examples given in NCERT, a very simple flow chart I had made for you. What we mean by species, how from species, genus, and then family, and so on will be made. You see here at a species level, in case of plant, this is related to plants here. The example are exclusively taken from NCERT. This is Solanum 𝕆𝕋𝔼𝕆, one species. This is another species, Solanum tuberosum, potato. And this is again the third species of the same, third species, Solanum nigrum, that is macoy. All these 3 species, they have more characters in common. That's why all these they have been put, that is, in genus Solanum. The same case will be there. This is another genus Petunia and Datura. In the same way, they will be made, that is, by their species. Datura is having its own species. So what is genus? Genus is a group of related, that is, species. What is family then? Solanum, Petunia and Dhatura genera, they have more characters in common as compared to other, and therefore they have been put in family Solanaceae. Convolvulaceae genera differs from Solanaceae. Anacardiaceae members genera they differs from Solanaceae and Convolvulaceae. And therefore, you see, now the similar families, the families which have more characters in common, they have been put in order. Solanaceae and Convolvulaceae, they have been put together in order Polymonoales, and Anacardiaceae have been put in Sapindales. The orders which have more characters in common, they have been put in a class known as that is Dicotyledone, and the same way that different orders, they are going to make this class that is Monocotyledone. Now, the classes which have more characters in common, they have been put that is in division. Division is for plant. In division, that is for Dicotyledone, and Monocotyledone, that will be Angiospermy. And now Angiospermy and Gymnospermy put together, they have been placed there in kingdom Plantae. Now, in the same way we have, that is chart 4 that is for animals. These are also the example given in NCERT, used to come in examination frequently. You see species Panthera leo lion, Panthera tigris that is tiger, and Panthera pardus this is leopard. All these big cats, they have more characters in common, which differs from that is cat. That's why they have been put together in genus Panthera. Panthera and Felis, these are the genera which have more characters in common, and they have been put that is in family Felidae. Similarly, that is Canidae family will be formed, that is by dog, that is by 𝕍𝕀𝔻𝔼℉, and by that is wolf. That is these animals, they will make the family Canidae. Felidae and Canidae, they have more characters in common, therefore it has been put together in that is order Carnivora. Carnivora and Primata, they have more characters in common, they have put together that is in class Mammalia, and Mammalia class aves, reptiles, that is Amphibia, and class that is Pisces. They have more characters in common, that's why they have been put together in phylum. Phylum is used for animals. In phylum, that is Chordata. Chordata and non-chordata, they have been put together in kingdom Animalia. So you have seen how that is different categories or ranks that have been formed for classification. What is species? The human being, they belong to one species, Homo sapiens. The same case we have for other organisms. This is the lowest degree of classification. It is a group of closely related individuals with similar characters, and group of naturally interbreeding. Mangifera indica is one species. It can interbreed with other plants, interbreeding population, and their ability to produce fertile offsprings. The species, the share, that is common gene pool, and that's why one species is known as genetically closed system. One cannot breed with the other members of other species. Now you see, again we have to repeat little bit here. Group, genus, a group of related species, I told you in that chart also. More characters in common as comparison to the species of other genera. A species, they share common gene pool, and that's genetically closed system, the same thing here. Now see the example which are narrated in NCERT book. That is, this is genus Solanum, having 3 species, that is Tuberosum, nigrum, and Melongena. Solanum, Tuberosum, potato. Solanum nigrum, that is macaw or black nightshade, and Solanum melongena, that is brinjal or eggplant. The same thing we have for, that is, this is genus Canis familiaris, that is dog. Canis lupus is wolf, and Canis aureus, that is 𝕍𝕀𝔻𝔼. The same thing we have here. These genus, they have more than one species. Panthera lion, Panthera tigris, that is tiger, and Panthera pardus, that one is leopard. We have to say, that is again, just because these are important things, we have to repeat little bit. In chart, also I told you, what is family? This is a group of related genera, still less character, which are similar in as compared to the genus and species. Family, when we want to categorize, it is categorized on the basis of both vegetative and reproductive character. Important, that question appears many times. Example, you can see the chart, that is Solanaceae, Convolvulaceae, these are for plants, and Felidae and Canidae, these are for, that is, animals. One more thing you see here, in case of animals, we have to add this suffix, that is IDAE. Most of the animal family, they have this suffix ed, and that is Solanaceae or Convolvulaceae, that is plant family, they have suffix, that is ACE. Order, same case, related families which exhibits a few similar characters, and similar characters are less in number as compared to the different genera included in the family. Example, Polymoneals and Sapindales, these are the order of plants which I have narrated earlier. Carnivora and Primata, these are the orders of, that is, animals. Is it? Class, a group of related orders. Dicotyledonea and Monocotyledonea, these are the class related to plants. In chart also we have discussed. Mammalia and aves, for example, these are the classes of animals. Phylum is used for, that is, animal. Division is used for plants. Angiospermy and Angiospermy, Gymnospermy, these are divisions, while the chordate and non-chordate, these are the phylum. That is kingdom, that is all together, they have been put together, that is highest category with related phylum or division. Kingdom Animalia include all animals, and kingdom Plantae includes all plants. Is it? Come to the next now. A chart is given in NCERT. That is here, these are the name of two animals. One is, that is, vertebrate, another one is, that is, invertebrate. Similarly, in case of plant, one plant is, that is, dicot plant. You are familiar with the terms. One plant is, that is, monocot. So that representation can be done from each and every group. This is the man. The biological name is Homo sapiens. Homo is the genus. Family is Hominidae. Order is primate. Class is Mammalia. And the phylum is Chordata. See here that this is housefly. Name is Musca domestica. Genus is Musca. Family is Mucidae. You see in this we have the suffix IDE. Order is Diptera. Class is Insecta. And that is phylum is Arthropoda. In case of plants, yes, mango, this is Mangifera indica. Mango is the genus, indica is the species. Anacardiaceae, the suffix here is ACE, is the family for mango. Sapindale is the order. The class is Dicotyledonea, and the division is Angiospermy. Wheat, Triticum aestivum. Triticum is the genus, aestivum is the species. And Poaceae is family, order is Poales, class is Monocotyledonea, and the division is, that is, Angiospermy. Children, you see, that is from this table of given in NCERT, the questions appeared many more times in examination. For example, I may give you one example here. Question, that is, which one is odd? Which one is odd? I have written here, that is Primata, Diptera, Sapindales, and say, for example, I have written here Poaceae. So definitely here Poaceae, that is family, and all the three are ordered. Sometimes that is Mammalia, Insecta, Dicotyledonea, and Poales. That Poales will be, that is odd one here. You have to see now. Come to the next now. Taxonomic aids. You know, different plants and animals and other organisms, these are useful in different way in agriculture, in forestry, in industry, and to know our bioresources and biodiversity. Therefore, correct identification is very much essential. So these are the techniques, these are the procedure and stored information on the basis of which we use to identify a particular organism. So these are known as taxonomic aids. They may be dead, they may be living, they may be, that is, in form of written information or description. You can see here herbarium, museum, botanical garden, zoological park, key, flora, manual, and monograph. We have to see one by one in detail. This is herbarium. You must have, that is, in your, that is, earlier classes, primary classes or in secondary classes, you must have for this herbarium a piece of, that is, leaf is taken, this is being put, that is, in fold of newspapers, and that will dry and that will become your herbarium. The herbarium, this is a storehouse of collected, dried, pressed, and preserved plant specimen that will be preserved on a sheet. This is the sheet known as herbarium sheet, right? That is, and these sheets are arranged according to that is sequence of accepted classification. Therefore, if you want to identify a plant, you can bring this sheet, you can compare with the herbaria present in any places, at any places. That's why herbaria serves as quick referral system. The step of making herbarium are, you have to go to the field, collection, then drying, poisoning, mounting, stitching, labeling, and deposition. Poisoning is to be done to protect our this bio wealth from microbes, and this poisoning is done by that is 0.1%, that is HgCl2. It will protect our plant specimen. Size of the herbarium is, this is 41 centimeter into that is 29 centimeter. The important that is herbarium, largest herbarium of the world we have, Royal Botanical Garden Kew. It has 6 million specimens of that is plants. Largest herbarium of India, we have Central National Herbarium. You see, name of the herbarium is different. Central National Herbarium, and it is there at that is Indian Botanical Garden, Havda near Kolkata. These are that some of the figures we have. One sheet of herbarium, that is fern. Here this is a flowering plant, and all these seeds are being deposited. Safely deposition is there. That is, this is the repository where we have to deposit all these that is plant specimens. Come to the next now, that is museum. Collection of preserved. Preserved means killed. These are not living. Herbarium is also dead one. So this is preserved, that is specimen we have here. That is to study our reference. Right? The specimens, these are preserved. You must have seen in biolab that this is jar is there, and in jar we have that this is ascaris. This is being preserved in that is formalin solution. Different that is preservatives are used. Preserved specimens are preserved as dry specimen, as in case of herbarium you have seen. If you want to preserve insect, then insects are preserved in insect box, that the insect, that is the pin head will be pinned, and that will be put in insect box like this. It will be preserved. Larger animals are stuffed and preserved. You must have seen museum. Skeleton, horns, hoof, and the feathers of the birds are also kept in herbarium. National Museum at Delhi, that is National Museum of Natural History at Delhi, is one of the important museums of our country. Botanical garden, that is ex situ conservation. Conservation means that is the living plants will be kept, the wild plants will be kept, and these plants may be from the same area or they may be brought somewhere else. That's why this is ex situ conservation. The living plants are kept in botanical garden. It is, the purpose is identification. Each plant is labeled, indicating its name, scientific name, and its family. That is, technique, procedure, and stored information are used for identification. Some of the important botanical garden of our country as well as in world. The most famous botanical garden in world, that is Royal Botanical Garden Kew, England. The NBRI, National Botanical Research Institute, is also having garden. National Botanical Garden Lucknow, that is NBRI, this is institute. Indian Botanical Garden at Havda, and Reliant Botanical Garden, that is Darjeeling. Come to the next now, that is zoological parks. Zoos, Chidyaghar we used to call. You must have visited some of the zoo. These are the protected area where wild animals only. See, the cow and goat will not be kept here. Wild animals are kept under human care. What was the purpose? The purpose is to study their food habits and to study their behavior. That is, just to develop interest for nature, to understand wildlife, recreation, and educating. Seeing the animals in zoo, you can differentiate, that is which one is lion, which one is tiger, and which one is leopard. That is education purpose is also there. Largest zoo of the world is, that is Kruger, South Africa, and one of the important purpose of that is some of the rare that is animals are there which do not breed in nature. Their breeding program is done there in zoos. These are some of the figure, beautiful zoo, that is figures we have. You can go through, that is actual also you have seen such type of zoos and such type of animals. What is key now? Key, children, you see these are small sized books, and in these books we have that is written information. Keys are used for identification of plant and animals. Once the question is, key are used for plant or for animals, these are used to identify both plant and animals. And these keys are based on similarities and dissimilarities. Therefore, the keys are known as analytical in nature. The key is based on a set of contrasting character. The key which is frequently used and that is very common, it is based on contrasting character. The two characters are there. The two characters are known as that is couplet. The animal can fly and animal that is cannot fly. This is the pair of statement known as couplet, and each statement is called lead. And separate taxonomic keys are used for animals and for plants. For species, that is a separate key. For families, a separate key. And for class, a separate key. This is also important question. I may repeat. Keys are used for plant and animals both. Yes. These are analytical in nature. Yes. These are based on similarities and dissimilarities. Couplet is pair of that is contrasting statement. Each statement is called lead. Come to the next now. Flora. That is, see the example first. Flora of British India written by J.D. Hooker. Means in British India all the plants found in that area, that is, they have been described in flora. Flora Indica by William Roxburgh. Flora of Delhi by J.K. Maheshwari. So how can you define? Flora contains the actual account of habitat and distribution of plants found in a given area. That is, provide index to the plant also found in a particular area, that is flora. What is manual? That is, manual is a group of plant. Here we used to describe a particular group of plant, that this is manual of cultivated plants. All the plants will not be kept, only particular group of a plant. That is complete listing and description of the plants, particular plant group found in this particular area. For example, manual of cultivated plant by 𝕆𝕋𝔼𝕆. Monograph contains monograph. What it does? That it contains, monograph contains information of any one taxon. Taxon, you know, taxon may be of any category. It may be the species or it may be the genus and so on. So taxon may be of any category. For example, here we have genus Pinus by N.T. Miro. All characters, all photographs, that is, and all important points related to Pinus are given in monograph. And the catalog, that is, includes alphabetically arrangement of species describing their feature. That is, a listing is there of all the plants found in a particular area. So children, as I told you in part 1 of this lesson, that in the end of lesson we have to discuss NCERT exemplar related to this chapter. Some of the important interesting questions are, can you give answer of this? As we go from species to kingdom, we are going in ascending order. Hierarchy, the number of common characters I told you. Can you recall it? Number of characters will decrease or increase. The most common character, maximum common characters are at lower category, so they will decrease. Is it right? Come to the next point. That is, which of the following suffix used for unit of classing in plant indicate a taxonomic category of family? Taxonomic family. You see, ales are used for order. That is, these are nothing that you can identify. That one is Solanaceae. Is it? Are you remembering? That is Convolvulaceae. So this is. You see, taxonomic unit phylum is used for animals. What is that equivalent term to this? Very easy question. That is division. Which of the out of the following is defining feature? Very important this one is. I told you earlier also, important one. Defining feature, can you summarize? Defining feature are those characteristics which are found in all living organism. Growth? No, it cannot be defining feature. Reproduction? No, because many of the organisms are there. Mule is there, it doesn't reproduce. Ability to make sound? No, not at all. The response to external stimuli. Each and every organism has to give response. It may be of low degree or it may be high degree. So these are some of the questions from NCERT exemplar, and these are some of the questions from previous year examination. NEET examination, for example, sample we have given to you. Which of the following is not, that is, correct statement? Come on. Botanical garden have collection of living plants. Yes, this is right. We have not to keep here. We have not to preserve the plants. This is conservation. Museum have collection of photographs of plant animals. No. That is some other thing we have, that is preservation of animals and plant and different plant and animal parts. So this is wrong one. Key, definitely this is there. Herbarium, that is okay. Come to the next now. See it here, this question. Nomenclature is governed by certain universal rules. Can you do it at your own? Yet you have to do it. That is, which of the following is contrary to the rule? You can find it out. The first word is biological name, represent genus. Second is species. This is right. Biological name can be written in any language, is it? Can we write biological name in Hindi, in Urdu? No, we cannot. That's why this is wrong. When this is written by hand, then that will be like this. Names are written in Latin. This is right. Who is known as Darwin of 20th century? In the beginning of this I told you. He is Ernest Mayr. So children, thank you very much. That is, after this, the planning will be displayed in slide, and by that time, bye-bye. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.